Okay, here we go. This is a story of how I met Michael, the archangel, in New Orleans, and I have receipts. This was 1995 at the Maiden Voyage on Bourbon Street. In fact, I can tell you exactly when it was from his drink receipt. It was Saturday, November the 11th, 1995 at 8:27 p.m. when he walked in and got a drink. And that drink was a Heineken. Y'all, I remember so many things, so many details about meeting this person 29 years ago, a stranger. I've kept these for 29 years. He made such an impact on me. This is so crazy. I can't believe I am telling y'all this story. Okay, when he came in, I noticed him immediately. He sat down kind of in the middle of the room. The Maiden Voyage is a strip club, by the way, if you haven't caught on to that yet. I went over, said hello, introduced myself, asked if he wanted to dance. But no, he was so polite, and he just said no thank you. And I never did this. I just asked, well, can I sit down for a minute and, maybe hang out? He was already drinking his Heineken at the time. And we got into a conversation. And when I tell you, this man's eyes were mesmerizing, okay? At some point in the first few minutes, he says to me, I am the angel Michael. And I remember thinking in the back of my head, oh no, I've got a crazy one here. But his mannerisms were not of a person who was, having mental issues. And we started talking about God and Jesus, and he wrote some notes, and he just grabbed the receipt to write some notes, okay? I'm going to share those with you, but he was wearing white pants and a white shirt, not unusual necessarily in New Orleans, but even though it's November, not necessarily unusual. He had a boat captain's hat. Okay, but hang on a second. Instead of the wheel in the middle of the boat captain's hat, he had a sand dollar in the middle. He had a beautiful face, even though I wouldn't call him like attractive. He wasn't hot, like a hot guy. It wasn't that. He had a beautiful face, and he had curly blonde hair, like ringlet curly, and it was probably like that long. Okay, I probably can't decipher all of what he wrote on this one. He was showing the star here. Don't get freaked out. He was just writing a star because that was his symbol why he was drinking a Heineken. And he wrote also manifestation, and he wrote man/infestation. And then he wrote God, occult, and Satan. And we had a conversation about that. I don't remember all the details of that one. And then on the other side, he wrote top of change, in God we trust, like I guess we were talking about money. And then he wrote about how to do Bible, ask a question of the Bible. I'm going to show you these, okay? Write down a question, say a prayer in faith for personal revelation through prayer, through the Bible, put your hand on the page and interpret the answer. Okay, I'll show you all of these. We had a pleasant conversation. I was just like, is this guy starting a cult? Like, I am so mesmerized by this guy. I get called onto stage, had to go back to work and do stuff. I look over at him occasionally, and there are girls everywhere sitting all around him, just sitting talking. Like everybody, all the girls are just drawn to this guy. And I watched from afar and just thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? There's a crazy fool in here saying he's the archangel Michael. And here I am just staring at him, and all the other girls are intrigued with him. Like, what is going on? Okay, there is one question I asked Michael it was a skeptical question, and I asked him, why are you here? And I cannot tell you the answer. I just can't tell you. Like, I don't know why I can't tell you, but I can't tell you. But he told me, and I can't say it. Okay, so towards the end of the night, I guess, I see that he's about to leave. And just something in me, I had to go tell him bye. You know, I couldn't let him leave without saying something. And so I ran over there and I said, Michael, if it's really you, you know, put in a good word for me. And he smiled and said, you're in. And I don't know why. After 29 years, I can remember the look on his face and the feeling that I felt when he said that to me. So here is the note he wrote with man infestation, occult, God, Satan. And this is the actual receipt that says top change in God we trust. And there's the address, 225 Bourbon Street, Maiden Voyage Limited. He had a beer. It was 6:25. And there's the date and the time. Also, no cameras or recording devices. This is the duplicate of the same receipt. And then this was what he wrote down to find the answer to a question in the Bible. So there you go. That's the story. So, was it Michael? I don't know. You tell me.
Boy, do I have a story for you. So, my grandmother at the time, she was already venerating Archangel Michael for 18 or 20 years, okay? And this meant lighting him his candle. She always had candles for him. And she also had a really beautiful statue of him in his specific place, okay? So she would go to it every day, pray to it, thank him, all of the above. Like, she was devoted. So at the time, my dad was a teenager when this happened, and he noticed when she went from lighting his candle, Archangel Michael's candle, and talking to the statue and whatever, like giving him the honor and just venerating him overall, she went from that to putting a towel on Archangel Michael's statue and no longer lighting his candles. And if anything, it kind of looked like she kind of tossed him like in the corner and just stopped paying mind to him. For what? My dad told me that he was in the bathroom one night and he was hearing like this clanking, like as if it was porcelain, like somebody like forcing porcelain on the floor, like almost as if, like when you hear a porcelain statue walking, what would you hear? It's like click, 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 you know what I mean? So that's what my dad was hearing, and it was tripping him out. And he was like, what is that noise? At the time, he didn't know what it was. And he was like, what is that noise? And at this time, he was in the bathroom, using the bathroom, whatever. And he felt like there was something staring at him. And when he turned, Archangel Michael's statue, like his head, was peeking at my dad in the bathroom. And my dad bugged out, obviously. And he got his, he got his stuff together, and he was calling his mom like, the statue. And when he looked, the statue was still standing there with a towel on his head thrown in the corner. And my dad told her, I don't tell you what to do, but you need to make things right with him like ASAP. There was also other experiences where my grandmother herself, like her house was just so chaotic. It was no longer being protected by Michael. So all of these spirits, all of these things were like really like messing with her, to the point that she literally told him, I am so sorry. Like, I am so sorry. As soon as she took off the cloth, the little towel she put on his statue, lit Archangel Michael's candle, prayed to him, and apologized, it was like nothing happened. My dad was in shock how the house went from like turmoil to then all of a sudden being loving and calm again. And ever since then, my grandmother has never stopped venerating Archangel Michael. Now, were there other things at play? Absolutely. I just feel that Archangel Michael stopped protecting her, and that was part of the chaos. And he was just sitting there waiting for her to learn her lesson, I guess. I don't get it. Do you mind explaining? Absolutely. Today is September 29th, which is St. Michael's, Archangel Michael's feast day, which means that people, devotees all around the world, will be lighting candles as an offering to him, will be saying prayers as an offering to him, will be in gratitude and just overall celebrating his presence. So my grandmother, my father, and I all are doing that today as well. So in the first photo, you see my temporary altar space for him, as well as my oils that I made for him in his honor. I lit his candles, said his prayers, and then I decided to go outside. I posted one TikTok where the sun was behind me because it was just something extra vibrant, something different about the sun, and that's when I decided to take a photo. Let me show you what you're looking at. Again, for reference, this is Saint Michael right here. When I took a picture of the sun, this is what I'm looking at. And then my father took the extra step to outline it for you. Saint Michael showed himself. Yes, Archangel Michael likes to joke around and be sassy and can be really sarcastic, but in a funny way, but that does not make him your friend. If he's telling you something, it's not for you to be like, oh, you know me, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later. No. If he's telling you to do something, he's not going to repeat himself. He's about his business. He about his business. And if he already told you what you need to do for your business and you're not doing it, don't come to him again. He's gonna be like, why are you coming to me? You're gonna be like, oh, I thought we were friends. We were never friends. We just had a relationship. But our relationship is not comparable to the human relationships that you have. Yes, we could joke around, but also if you don't know how to code switch and take things seriously, then you don't need to be working with me. Because he definitely had to put quite a few people in their place recently. So he has not been playing. So whatever he's telling you to do, you better do it. You better do it.
Many years ago, someone told me that the archangels Michael and Raphael want you to know that they exist, and that if you reach out to them with a particular problem, they're going to take care of it. And it's going to be something you're going to recognize so that you understand they're there. I had an experience. So my son was in Kuwait, and he hadn't called me for a very long time. And as a mother, you start to you can't breathe, you get anxiety. It was like a time of night. He never would have called me. And I actually called on Michael and Raphael. Do you know 10 minutes later the phone rang? And it was my son.
A guardian angel was caught on camera. Watch this.
Shock of their lives when they got an alert from their security camera in the driveway.
It was kind of really unusual. I've never ever seen anything like it.
I was like, wow. I mean, that is an angel.
The photos are exactly how they were taken. I choose to believe it. I think it's an angel.
Take a good look. Many, including their pastors, said that they believe this image, captured by a security camera, shows an angel hovering over the family's truck last week.
If you desire to learn more about how the kingdom of God operates, subscribe or follow now.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding. I know those who really work with Archangel Michael know what I'm talking about when I say his presence still sends me chills down my spine. It is so intimidating once he really gets to know you, right? And once he really is like, you're ready for me, leaves me shook. He is not one to fuck with. Story time. My grandmother is a devotee of him, and she was going through a period of trying to figure out what works for her. Okay, so she was dibbling and dabbling in different things and kind of forgot about Mr. Archangel Michael and stopped venerating him. When I tell you the chaos that Mr. Michael caused, never again did she forget about him.
If you need a reminder that angels exist, are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? My aunt's friend literally saw this on Holy Thursday and took a picture of it. Tell me right now that doesn't look like an angel. Tell me right now that that is not an angel in the sky. Whenever you catch yourself seeing things like this that look like angels, that represent angels, that remind you of angels, it is 110% always coming through to show you that angels are all around you and that you are being protected and that you are never alone, because you're not. So take this as your reminder, because baby, these angels genuinely love you.
An angel is caught on a hospital camera. Check this out.
Crazy. Just a few hours after they pulled out Chelsea's life support and her family said goodbye, doctors suddenly saw that she was breathing. It seemed impossible, but Chelsea was alive and well. When they checked the hospital surveillance cameras, they saw a glowing entity outside Chelsea's room. Many believe this may be a real angel who saved her.
If you want to learn more about the deeper things of God, follow and subscribe.
This is what we think an angel looks like, and this is what a biblically accurate angel actually looks like.
Each was like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the cherubim faced. The wheels did not turn about as the cherubim went. The cherubim went in whatever direction the head faced, without turning as they went. Their entire bodies, including their backs, their hands, and their wings, were completely full of eyes, as were their 4 wheels. I heard the wheels being called the whirling wheels. Each of the cherubim had 4 faces. One face was that of a cherub, the second the face of a human being, the third the face of a lion, and the fourth the face of an eagle. Then the cherubim rose upward. These were the living creatures I had seen by the Kibar River. When the cherubim moved, the wheels beside them moved.
So when Jesus talks about the little children's angels in Matthew 18, is this what he means?
I saw my first biblical angel last night and it looked like this. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I now understand why in the Bible they're like, do not be afraid, because I was like, I'm very afraid right now. This is really intense.
Right, so if you guys already didn't know, there's this thing going around where a man is praying and then it's either a demon or an angel shows up, and then Archangel Michael is said to be shows up. Anyhow, basically what happens is the man is praying and then this Archangel Michael touches his head, and look, he slaps it away. He slaps Archangel Michael's hand away. That is actually crazy.
Never get over the fact that people don't believe that that's what I saw. Like, I literally saw one of those. It's called a phantom angel. They are fucking real. They are very real. And as someone who grew up like religious, I just turned away from believing in like mystical, metaphysical things altogether until I was tripping on, and I literally saw one. Literally, it was spinning. It had eyes all over it. Like, it was talking to me about what I'm here to do, asking me why I'm not, like, being my most authentic self. It did say, basically, fear not. I didn't say fear not. I just literally said, don't be scared. Like, I'm just here to talk to you and help you. Like, it was crazy, but that's literally what they look like. Literally what they look like. They told me they were an angel. I'm pretty sure it was Michael. That's what they said. But this is literally what angels look like, guys. They don't have big-ass wings. They're not all